Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Nina, and today's video is going to be something that I saw Sarah Caroli do. Today we are going to have my Pinterest boards, or my Pinterest dashboard, For You page. I don't know, like the front page of my Pinterest is going to pick my reads for this week. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but I am going to pick some books from my Pinterest. I always pin books. I pin aesthetics, I pin quotes, and whichever 5 we come across first are the books that I will be reading this week. Hopefully I am able to get to all of them. So without further rambling, let's get into this video and do the genius idea of having my Pinterest pick my reads for the week, because usually I tend to pin a lot of books that I've already read and some that I haven't read, but the ratio between them is completely different. I tend to pin a lot more of the books that I have read because I look up their aesthetic, or I look up a certain quote that I want to always remember. I do have a board for the entirety of my book pins that I want to pin. I'm not going to be looking into that. That's in case I don't find any on my front page, then we'll go into the board. But if that doesn't need to be done, then we're not going to do that. So I have my phone. I'm going to start screen recording. And we're just gonna, oh, there's already one there. This one is Savage and Lovely by Hazel Black. And apparently it's a one-bed trope. So that is apparently the first book that we're gonna do. I don't know what this is about. I don't know who this is, but that's one. Oh, there's this one, but I've already read this one. This one is The Right Move. I've already read that one. Book Lovers, I've already read. Which one is this one? Oh, this one is just something cute. I thought it was a book. All right. I'm trying really hard not to pin everything that I see, but you know, some of it is just so pinnable, so cute. Oh, this pasta looks delicious. Spaghetti, not pasta. This coffee looks amazing. Wait, is that? Nope. Nope. That's a crazy ad. That's a crazy ad for real. Oh, Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I'm not gonna read this one because I know it's a continuation of the Chestnut Springs series, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not gonna read this one, but instead I will read the first Chestnut Springs book, which I'm so excited for. You have no idea. Oh my god. All right. Was that 3? Should we do 2 more? Right, because we had the one bed, and then this summer will be different. There's People We Meet on Vacation, which I've already read. We're not gonna do no rereads. That's for a different video. Okay. What's this? Is this Not in Love? I've already read that one. Should we go into a quote? Oh, Never Ever by Colleen Hoover. Have I read that? I think I have. I read the first book, if I'm not mistaken. Never Ever, Colleen. Is it Never Never? Oh, it's Never Never. It's not Never Ever. And I have read it. Should I read the second book then? Because it has been... Let's screenshot for future reference. That might be an option. Okay, I'll do 2 more. And then, oh, this is so cute. Oh, Strawberry Fields Forever. That's so cute. That's cute. All right. Mr. Wrong Number, I've already read. Love in Other Words, I've already read. Book Lovers, I've already read. The Cheat Sheet, I've already read. What is this? The American Roommate Experience? Why not? Why not? All right. Should we... I don't want this ad. Should we go down and see? I've already read The 7-Year Slip. What is that? I've already read One in Rome. I already read that one. Let's get out of this because it feels like it's a lot of books that I have read. I read Check and Mate, read Book Lovers, Love Redesigned, My Beloved. That's my beloved for real. What is this? Aha, Reckless. So that's a sign to read the Chestnut Springs books. All right, I'm gonna refresh. Icebreaker, I've already read. Love Unwritten I've already read. What is this? Is this Shatter Me? Stop. I'm not doing this. I've already read that. That's painful. Why would they do this to me? Hurtful. Circe. Should we read Circe? Is it finally time? Is it time, guys? It might be time. It's looking like it's Circe. I've been meaning to read Circe for a very long time, so I'm very excited. It's looking like a bunch of great books. I'm very excited. I'm gonna try to get them from my library, and if I can't, I'm gonna buy my own versions. We're gonna go to Barnes or Target and find them, and then we're gonna read them, and this week's gonna be so fun. I am so excited. Let's get started. The first book that we're going to be starting with is Never Never by Colleen Hoover, and apparently it's also co-written by Taryn Fisher, which I did not know this was a co-written book. I thought it was just a one-person Colleen Hoover written book, but apparently not. Like I said, I believe I've said it in the intro, but I read the first book in this duology series. I don't know what it is, but I read the first book in this duology, whatever, years and years ago, and I really found the ending of it really interesting, and I thought that I really wanted to continue on with the rest of the series. Now, I haven't thought about the series in a very long time since I read it, but every time I read the title, I'm like, oh, I remember this book, and I remember how it ended, and I remember why I added the rest of the books into my TBR, because I just found it so fascinating. It's kind of like a thrillery mystery type of book, and so for that reason I just thought it was really interesting, because I don't read a lot of thrillers or a lot of psychological thrillers or horror or mystery or anything of that sort. That's not something I gravitate towards. So when I read the first book in this trilogy, I'm just gonna call it a trilogy, I found myself so fascinated, and yeah, for that reason I decided to finish it. But I don't know how it popped up on my Pinterest, because I haven't thought about this book in a very good while, so seeing it on my For You page was kind of like, oh, I know this book. I've read the first book in this trilogy, and just thought it was funny that it pulled up, because I never see it on my Pinterest or on my Goodreads or anywhere. The only time I think about it is when I look at my list of unfinished series, and this one is on it. So at least this one is knocking it off of my TBR for the series list. And yeah, this is the complete story, 3 books in one, because the first book was like 100 pages, if that, so it's very short. But this one has like extra stuff in the back, which is like their astrology and stuff like that, some extra profiles of the characters, but the actual book is 346 pages. So yeah, I'll probably be able to finish this within a couple of days. Yeah, I got this from my library. Didn't really buy it because I don't really feel like buying it myself, and I wanted to utilize my library. So this is the book we're going to be starting with. Very excited. Let's get on with it. Have started Never Ever by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. I don't know why I always say the name. Obviously you know who it's by. I already introduced it. I am now on page 131, and that means, and that according to Goodreads is 30% in. I am slowly like remembering some scenes that happen in this book. There are some scenes that I remember from the first time that I read it very vividly. It's basically about this guy and this girl who wake up one random day, and they don't have any memories, and we follow Charlie and Silas as they try to figure out why it is that they can't remember anything. And apparently there's something that happened between their families to where they were dating,
and they weren't supposed to be before they lost their memories. And so now they're together to try to figure out what it is that made them forget all their memories and why they forgot all their memories and what's going on between their two families. I remember this ending, at least the first book. I remember the first book ending on a cliffhanger, and I remember why I added the rest of them to my TBR immediately, because I was like, I need to figure out what is happening right this second, because if I don't, I'm gonna lose my mind. And it's very easy to read, very quick to get through. I am, like I said, 30% in. I will probably end up reading a little bit more today and probably a little bit more tomorrow. I will probably finish this tomorrow without any, hesitation, just because I really want to figure out what it is that is happening. Because like I said, I read this for the first time years ago and I never got to figure out what it is that they were trying to figure out, or why they forgot their memories, or why they woke up one random day and suddenly they don't remember anything, but they were together and they were really in love, and now they don't know, like anything about their life other than like some random things that they remember every now and then. That doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot actually. I know it has a very low rating if you look it up on the Goodreads. I hope the ending isn't gonna ruin this for me. Like I said, this is the complete trilogy, and so yeah, this is books 1 through 3, but I'm just gonna count it as the one. But yeah, I am really enjoying myself reading it. I'm really intrigued to find out what it is that they're trying to figure out and why they forgot their memories and what happened between their parents. I think this is a very attention-grabbing book. Just know that I am very much enjoying it, and I definitely do recommend it. Hopefully my thoughts on that doesn't change or don't change, and I don't end up regretting giving it such high praise. Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher, and I gave this a 3.5 star rating. I'm between a 3.7, actually, controversial. I'm going to say that I'm giving it 3.75 stars because I actually really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a really fun story. It was really entertaining to read. I wasn't bored. I really liked it. I know a lot of people are giving it very mixed reviews and saying that you shouldn't read it and you should never pick it up. I liked it. I don't understand the hatred about it because it was really fun, and I think it was different for Colleen Hoover to do like a mystery novel, where now I've read her thriller novel and her mystery novel, and I can say that I actually really enjoyed this. If you have any other book recommendations that follow the same type of storytelling that this has, then let me know down below, and let me know if you've read this book and what you thought about it, because maybe I'm not seeing what everybody else is hating about it, but I actually really enjoyed it. When I finished this, I actually picked up The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas, and I am not even that far in. I am 14 pages in, and I read those at work, and then I just kind of got bored. It's basically about this girl and this guy who apparently maybe follow something from The Spanish Love Deception, which is also written by the same author, or I could be just pulling that from nowhere. But it's about this guy, so far from what I know, it's about this guy who comes to this apartment that his cousin is leasing or like letting her friend borrow, and her friend thinks that the guy is coming to rob her, but he's not really, because he lives in the apartment and he's one of the only people that didn't go to her wedding, to his cousin's wedding, who is friends with the girl. And yeah, I don't really know much about it as of right now. It's kind of written like okay. I'm keeping my hopes up. I'm keeping an open mind so I can actually, go into it blank without anybody else's thoughts, because I know a lot of people really didn't like the Spanish Love Deception, at least the people that I watch, and the people that I've heard talk about it don't really like the Spanish Love Deception. So, and they really don't like this one either. So I was kind of nervous to get into it, but I'm giving it a fair shot. I'm giving it a chance, because you should always go into books, like I say, with an open mind and make your own decisions about it if you like it or not. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna probably read a little bit more, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And if I don't finish it today, then I'll probably finish it tomorrow, which I don't think I will finish it today, because I already read like 200 pages of this, which really wasn't hard. I really actually enjoyed this one.
I cannot. I am 62 pages in on chapter 6. I have been trying to read this book for 2 days. It's not happening. It's not working. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's written. The characters are very chaotic. The story is very chaotic. I don't like the way that it's written. I don't like the premise. I don't like the characters as people. I really don't like the girl character. She gives me like too much. I can't deal with her. I can't deal with the story. I really tried, and I have been trying to read it for 2 days, and yet I continue to put it down and not read it because I'm just not interested. And the way it's written, like, it's just not for me. And I even flipped through it like multiple times to try to like give myself something to read towards, because sometimes I do that if I feel like I want to DNF a book. Nothing. I don't feel nothing. For that reason, I think I am going to DNF this book. This book is not for me. I understand why people say that this is not for them, and I understand why people give it low ratings. I understand why people DNF it, because I am DNFing it. It's just so much, and I don't think it's written very well. I'm just not vibing with it. The story's not vibing. The characters are not vibing. The premise is not vibing. And so I don't want to continue to have to force myself to read it and pick it up and put it down and pick it up and put it down and get distracted by other things just because I don't want to read this book. So we're going to DNF this one, and instead we are going to pick up Circe by Madeline Miller. See, I didn't even need to look at who it was written by because of how popular this book is and how often I see this. People rave about this book. People love this book. People love Madeline Miller and her works. This book is 385 pages, but it feels a lot thicker. Have heard a lot of things about Madeline Miller. I've heard a lot of things about Circe, and I believe I've heard a lot about one of her other works. I'm not really sure. I haven't really kept up with all of that, but I know it when I see it. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'll put a picture of it right here. I think it's Madeline Miller that wrote it, and yeah, so this is Grecian inspired, Grecian mythology inspired, and I love anything to do with that. So I'm very, very excited to pick it up. I hope it makes me cry. I'm really excited to finally read some work by Madeline Miller. So let's get into it. I'm very excited.
on page 153 of Circe, and I started this today, I believe. Really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this to the point where I find myself thinking of the story when I put the book down. It's basically really intertwined with Greek mythology. If you are interested in any of that, I think you would really enjoy this book. I think if you have any interest in like Zeus and Poseidon and like all of those other gods, I don't know why those are the only two that are coming to mind right now. I think you would really enjoy this. I have always had like some sort of like fondness for Greek mythology, and I've always had an interest in it. And so reading this book has made me like really go back into that mindset. They mention Icarus. The part that I'm at right now is talking about Icarus. If you like, the way this book is written is beautiful. The lines in here are insane. The way that each chapter is crafted, the way that the character thinks, the way that the character is described, the way that a scene is described. If you like really painful books, if you like angst, if you like really sad books, then I think you would really enjoy this one. It's very sad. I feel so bad for Circe as a character. Poor baby girl. Like, I just want to give her a hug. She is so cute and so precious and so let down by everyone. And it just feels like she's such a genuine character that has such a kind and warm heart. And she's being let down by everybody, and nobody is understanding her because she doesn't look like the rest of the goddesses and the gods, and she doesn't have the power, but everybody else does, and she doesn't get a blessing when she's born like the other children, her other siblings are. And you just follow her journey as she basically finds herself. At least that's where I'm at right now. I would say I'm about 40% in, if not 35% in, maybe between 35 and 40%. I hope to be able to finish this tomorrow. I want to know where the story is going. I want to know how it's going to end, because the way it started is so fascinating, and reading about it is just like Circe has such a distinctive voice, and she's such a distinctive character to the point where I feel like I have never read anything about a character like Circe before, or have ever read a book that's written the way that this is written, because it's just so beautiful. Like, I cannot tell you how many lines in here. If this was my own copy, this is a library copy, but if this was my own copy, I would have tabs all over the place because of how many lines I absolutely adored while reading this book. Madeline Miller has such a beautiful way with words, and a beautiful way to describe a scene, and to describe characters, and to describe the pain that the character is going through. And oh my god, it's really beautiful. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't read anything by Madeline Miller like me before this book, I definitely recommend you pick up either this or The Song of Achilles. If you just love beautiful books and beautiful writing, then I think you would really enjoy this one. I don't want to put this book down, to be honest. That's where we're at. Giving it 4.25 stars and 4.5 stars because I really enjoyed it. It is one of the most beautiful books that I have ever read, like writing wise, not like even just the story, but like writing wise. The writing in this book is so beautiful and just so lovely, and you get so attached to the characters because you follow them through all these things that they go through. Circe is my child. I feel so close to her. Like, I just want to protect her at all costs. She is so precious and so cute and so lovely. And like, you see her go through these things in her life where things continue to let her down. And then in the end, when she chooses what she chooses, it's such a full circle moment. And I really, really enjoyed this book. I did not think when I would pick up this book that it would change me the way that it did, but I feel genuinely changed by having read it and seeing humans from Cersei's point of view. There are so many lines here about humanity and being a human being that are so beautiful, that make me think how lucky we are. As pretentious as that sounds, it makes me think of how lucky we are to be able to be so excited by the smallest things and to love the smallest things and to be able to like grow old and then eventually not live 1,000 years. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed the story. I definitely recommend it, not even just for the story, but like I said, the writing in here is beautiful. If you are at all interested in beautiful writing where you feel like your heart is being tugged by the most beautiful words that you have ever read, I definitely recommend this one. Definitely a step up from the American Roommate experiment. Today we are going to be reading the first book in the Chestnut Spring series, which is Flawless by Elsie Silver. And if you have never heard about this series, I don't know where have you been. Everyone and their mother loves this series. This is a small town romance, I think. It's like something set in the country, cowboys. That's what I know about it. I love a good series that makes me feel attached to the characters and to the people that I'm reading about and the setting and everything, and I feel like I haven't had that. I'm so excited to finally understand the hype about this series, and I hope I love it as much as everybody else and their mother does. Goes crazy. I apologize. My other light is broken, so I'm trying to get that figured out. But I have officially started Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I am a little under halfway. This book is 400 pages, and I'm on page 174, so almost halfway. I have 25 more pages until halfway. I am loving this book so much. I love Rhett. He is one of the best bookmen I have ever read about. The setting is so entertaining. I did not know what this book series was about, but I knew it had some sort of like small town romance, cowboys involved. And this is about this guy. His name is Rhett, and he's a very famous bull rider, and he gets in trouble for like, he gets into this dumbass scandal, and he has to have this girl Summer become his agent and basically babysit him for the entirety of the time, or the entirety of the season of bull riding, until the scandal kind of blows over and his sponsors quit dropping like flies. I love this so much. It's kind of an enemies to lovers, which I didn't expect, and it's so fun to read. It's so entertaining, so easy to fly through. I have not been reading as much as I should, but trust me, if I wasn't so scatterbrained and so busy and so distracted, I would definitely be finishing this in one day. But it just so happened that yesterday I read 50 pages and today I read the like 100-ish pages after that, and I think I will probably be finishing this tomorrow, which is so exciting because I really want to know where this book is going to go, and it's gonna take a lot of me to not just immediately jump into finishing the rest of the series, because I want to take my time with it and really enjoy it, because I know a lot of people love the series and they adore the characters, and I want to take my time with it because I learned from previous experience, whenever I love a series, I tend to finish it too quickly, and then by the time I'm done, I'm like, oh, I wish I had taken my time with it and stayed with the characters for a little bit longer. So that's what I'm doing. I am taking my time with the characters, enjoying it, not forcing myself to read when I don't want to, because I want to give this book my full attention. It makes me want to go to a small town, and I am not a small town girl. Do with that information what you will. Okay, see you tomorrow for when I finish this and be depressed because I can't read it for the first time again.
close to the end of this book. I am loving this book so much. I decided to put it down and not finish it while I was at work because I wanted to take my time with it and really enjoy the ending, because the last like 50 pages that I read was absolutely batshit crazy, and I cannot believe everything that has happened. It has taken a turn that I absolutely did not expect it to. There's this scene with the whipped cream. Oh my god. And then there's this other scene with the phone call. If you know, you know. I could not believe my eyes. I had to put it down and like sit there and be like, oh my god. I've read a lot of spicy books, but this spice in this one, maybe because I love the guy so much that it's actually affecting me, but I enjoy reading about him so much. I enjoy everything he does. I enjoy everything he says. I enjoy how rugged and handsome he is, and oh, it's delicious. I'm eating it up. I'm enjoying my time with it. I am gonna sit here and I am gonna finish this book, and then we'll talk about what book I'm picking up next, which I am also so unbelievably excited for. You do not know. I have been waiting for this book for so long. Okay, so let's finish this book and then talk about what book I'm reading next. That I got played. I got so played heavy because I thought this book was 390 something pages, 93 pages. It's not, because it has the like sneak peek into the next book of the series, which I'm not gonna read because obviously I'm reading the next book. I imagine had the second book not been out yet and you read this first book, then you wanted to know what was coming in the second book, but I obviously just can go pick up the second book, so I don't need to read the little bonus chapter at the end. I'm so mad because I thought I had more content, but I should have known, because the epilogue usually isn't that long, but it is, and it was beautiful, and it was gorgeous, and it was amazing and lovely, and I'm obviously giving this 5 stars. I had the best time reading it. It was so good. It pulled me out of a reading slump, and I could not put it down. I am absolutely obsessed with Summer, and I'm absolutely obsessed with Rhett, and I just love them together, and I love the story, and I love how cute they are together and how they found their way to each other. And it wasn't just a story about romance, it was like a story with so much more weaved in, and you got to know the characters, you got to know them for who they are outside of their relationships and inside of their relationships, and I just appreciated it so much. If you haven't picked up the series yet, please do, because you're missing out, and I've been missing out until now. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm holding this in my hands. I can't believe I'm holding this in my hands. I waited at the library for this for maybe 3-4 months. It had a 500 people wait on it. I have been waiting for it for the longest time, and when it showed up on my Pinterest, I was kind of interested in it, but not really, because I read the first book, The Part of Your World. I actually listened to that book on audiobook, and I loved it, and that was years and years ago. I really got intrigued by the story, and I loved Abby's writing, and I just really connected with the story. And then I saw this, I kept seeing this, people kept talking about this and kept talking about this and putting it in their YouTube videos and putting it in their book talk videos and talking about it and giving it 5 stars, and everybody was obsessed with it. And I thought the premise of the story was very interesting. It's basically about this girl and this guy who meet because they both think that they have a curse where whoever dates them and dumps them finds the one right after dating them, and they basically meet each other through a Reddit post, from what I know. And I love Reddit, and I love reading, and I love Abby Jimenez, because also after I kept seeing people talk about this book and kept seeing people saying that you should probably read Yours Truly and Part of Your World before this one so you can see the cameos that come up in this one, and feel more for them, because apparently the other couples also come back into play in this book. I listened to the audiobook of Yours Truly last month. Absolutely adored it. I loved it so much I could not put it down. I was giggling, kicking my feet. I love the writing, I love the characters, I love Jacob, and I still think about him to this day, and it's been a month since I finished this book. They center more on the characters' growth and how they go through things and how they deal with things, and I'm so excited to see what she does with this one, because she absolutely tore my heart out and put it back into my chest by writing and giving us the beauty that is Yours Truly. I'm so excited to find out what this book holds for me and see the couples from the other books come and make an entrance in this one and make a little cameo. I am 90% sure that this is probably going to become one of my favorite reads of the year from the way that everybody's talking about it and from the excitement that I have for it. So I'm so glad it came. I'm so excited. I'm so excited you do not understand. Okay, so where am I? Let's see, 224 pages in. I stopped in the middle of a chapter. This is how much I read, this is how much I have left. And I believe I am a little bit over halfway, which means I will probably be finishing this tomorrow. And the fact of the matter is, let's call it for what it is. I am taking my time with this book. I don't want to finish this book. I don't want to finish this universe. I don't want to never be in this world again. I love this book. I love this book. I adore Justin so much. If he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, he would. Justin, the man that you are, guys. The way that Abby Jimenez writes a book, these characters are so real. They're so flawed. They have so many emotions and like genuine struggles in their life. You can see them go through these devastating things. Like both of these characters, there's so much mental health representation in here, and I think Abby Jimenez does such a great job at creating three-dimensional characters to where you feel like they're absolutely real human beings that you are experiencing these things with, because they are so real. They feel so real. I think Abby Jimenez is probably becoming one of my favorite authors after Emily Henry because I enjoy her writing so incredibly much. I love her stories. They feel so real and so immersive and impactful and beautiful and so well written. How just genuine the characters feel and how loving the men in these books can be. I can't say good enough things about this book, and if this hasn't sold you on it, I don't know what will. Things are hitting the fan, and I am here for it. Have not read for 2 days because I am prolonging my reading experience of this book. I don't want to finish it. Point blank period. Don't want to finish this book. I don't know what's wrong with me. I cannot for the life of me get myself to pick it up and actually read it because it's so physically painful to actually get myself to get to the ending because shit has hit the fan. I am like 30 pages away from the end. Listen, I do not like when people read quotes from a book. I usually just skip over it, so feel free to skip over this, but I read this and I thought I had to let you know the type of writing that this book has, because personally, had somebody read this in a video and I listened to it, I would have immediately went and picked up this book, because listen to this. Every date with her was sacred to me. I liked spending time with her so much I brought her lunch yesterday just to have an excuse to see her for 5 minutes. If he wanted to, he would. Then he says, I thought about the next time I got to see her every second up until she arrived. I thought about her all the time. Oh, he makes me want to jump out of a moving airplane like 50,000 feet up in the air. Just no parachute. I'm gonna just raw dog the shit out of it, because why are men in books? Period. Why are men in books? You know? Like, just be real. I would propose. I would propose if he was a real person and I met him in real life and I got to know him. I would propose. I think I even love him more than Jacob, which I did not think was gonna be a thing. Jacob from Yours Truly, because I loved Yours Truly, and I loved Jacob, and I loved Brianna, and I didn't think that I would ever find a book that I love more than that book, but this book it's taking the cake. I love it so much. I don't think I can breathe without it. I don't want to finish it. I know this may seem like it's dramatic to you. It's dramatic to me too. This is life or death. I'm losing my man. I will see you when I'm finished with this book. This is going to be the first book that I finished in September. It's so well earned. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Need I even give a review? Like, I think my thoughts on this were pretty clear. I finished this. Absolutely 5 stars. Absolutely recommend. It has been such a pleasure to be in this world and to read Abby Jimenez's writing. She is one of the most talented authors, one of the most incredible storytellers that I have ever read anything from, and I am going to definitely be keeping my eye out on anything that she releases in the future, and I think I will be one of her #1 stans because of the way that she's just completely captured my heart with everything that she's written. I cannot get enough of her stories. I can't get enough of her characters. I will be thinking about this book and Yours Truly for a very, very, very long time. She is so incredibly gifted at writing characters that feel so real and writing a story that just feels so immersive that you, the reader, feel like you're in the story. Like, I know these people, they're my friends. That is the last book of this video. Let's go to the wrap up. Let's go. That is it. That's the finale of this video. I hope you enjoyed. This was such an interesting experiment to see what books pop up on my Pinterest, because I don't really look up books that I've never read on Pinterest. Usually I'm the type of person to just look up the Pinterest posts after I finish a book versus before reading it to look up the aesthetics or anything like that. But this video has actually made me start looking up like aesthetics of books and stuff, obviously very carefully because I don't ever want to be spoiled for anything. But this video has taught me to inspired me to go and look into like aesthetic collages and stuff before I start, like, say, a fantasy book or anything like that. I thought it was very, very fun. I definitely see myself doing this again at some point, probably give it a little bit of time, so I'm not doing this immediately right afterwards, but I had the best time. It was such a fun experience, and I did not think that it was gonna last as long as it did, but I'm glad that it did, and I'm glad my Pinterest didn't let me down because I've read some of the best books that I have ever read in this video, and I am absolutely so ecstatic that I actually now have read both Chestnut Springs and Just for the Summer, because those have been on my TBR for a very long time. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want a part 2 of this video, and also let me know if you have any other challenges you would like me to do down below in the comments, because I'm kind of running out of ideas and I don't know what to do. So if you have any challenge you would like me to do, or if you have any ideas for any videos you would like to see, then let me know down below as well, and I will make that happen for you. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Click the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Treat yourself to something nice. I hope you have the very best day, and I'll see you guys again next week with another video without any break, because I'm back. I'm officially back. We are so back. Okay? See ya. Thank you for watching. Yup.